What's popping, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be doing a Marvel related video once again, but this time we will be talking about the new series What If. So I've watched 5 episodes so far. The 6th episode is coming out this week, and yeah, so basically what I'm gonna do is that I am going to hit you guys with like a short summary and my review on each episode. And if you guys like this video, do make sure to hit the like button, because if I'm going to do a part 2 for the last 4 episodes, you know, I'm gonna need 25 likes for that So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. If you guys know, from like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, there's a different Spider-Man all coming together. And then the most recent trailer, Spider-Man No Way Home, there is a rumor where they like have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland being the same movie, or being Spider-Man from different universes at the same time, right? So this series is basically exploring the different events that occur in all these different universes. So basically, if you guys watched Loki, this is not a spoiler by the way, I mean it kind of is basically I'm just gonna explain whatever Kang the Conqueror explained. We live in a multiverse. Basically there are many new universes at the same time. Imagine that we are on this universe, and then there's like countless others. They're all parallel to each other and going through the same timeline. Each episode is not related to the other. Right, so episode 1 is on its own, is from one universe, episode 2 is in another universe. They basically take 30 minutes to explain the whole storyline. It's not too long, you know, but you get the idea lah. Let's start out with the first episode. First episode, we see there is no Captain America. There is only Captain Britain. What happens here is that Peggy Carter becomes the super soldier instead of Steve Rogers. The change that occurred here is that Peggy Carter decided to stay in the lab instead of going to the observation deck. But I feel like everyone was in the lab, like no one went to the observation deck. There's a lot of comparisons I can make between the movie and the What If series, because it's basically the same timeline. So basically, first things first is that the bomb was put in the lab instead of the observation deck. In the process, Chester Phillips was killed, so now the one in charge was this guy named Colonel Flynn. And also there was this one scene that was super funny to me. I think let's have a good laugh before we move on.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, like, no shit, right? You're not gonna go anywhere. Yeah. If you guys didn't know, Peggy Carter is actually British. That's why we will call her Captain Britain. The scene where Red Skull successfully gets the Tesseract in Norway, yeah, that's the same, alright? But the difference now is that in the What If series, the Americans successfully interferes with the transportation of the Tesseract. But then in the movie, got it all the way and started to make the weapons and stuff. Also, when saving Bucky, in the movie, they used the airplane. But in the series, they got the motorbike and they smashed it. It's the same storyline, nothing much. So let's move on to the second episode, which is T'Challa becoming Star-Lord. In this episode, is very much different from the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. Why? Because T'Challa, he successfully embeds his characteristic onto the whole Ravager crew, right? Which is I would say, very interesting theory to explore. Because see, in the original, Peter Quill, like, he just joined the Ravagers and then like he learned from them. But then when T'Challa did it, it's like they learn from him instead, because you know, he as someone who is a born leader, someone who is always looking for peace, you know, it's very different. If let's say you were to compare, we see a lot of changes in the universe itself, you know, such as things like, you know, Thanos legit just joined their crew. Drax, you know, he's happy because he has his wife and kids, like they never died in the first place, and Nebula is just chill. You can see that like the Ravager team is very tight-knitted, and like they actually look out for each other instead of like from the original, they're always like fighting and then they're always betraying each other. They don't have moral values. Thanos gave up on his dream of decimating half the population. Why? Because T'Challa successfully convinced him not to, using argument, which is very comes to show. So instead of Thanos, now we have the Collector instead. So in this episode, we basically hatch a plan to steal something from the Collector's collection that can possibly save the world, which is the Embers of Genesis.
Aye, aye, Commander. Although I still assert my plan was not without its merits.
So in episode 3, we explore what happened to the world when all the Avengers are dead. Most of the scenes are tit for tat. This revolves around Fury's big week. There is Tony Stark, Thor, and Bruce Banner. Like these three he had to handle. In the end, we find out that actually it was Hank Pym which was causing all this damage and all this killing, right? And then it's all in the name of his daughter dying when fighting for S.H.I.E.L.D. And where she died is very interesting.
Agent Hope Van Dyne was killed on a mission outside Odessa, Ukraine.
Somebody shot out my tires near Odessa, but the Winter Soldier was there.
It's very possible that the Winter Soldier killed her. At the end, now that the Avengers do not exist, Loki has taken over the world. So yeah, episode 4. Doctor Strange doesn't like get his hands destroyed. Christine dies instead lah, essentially. He becomes a bit sad, and then like he goes to learn Mystic Art, and then he stopped Dormammu. What happening is that at some point he just like wants to turn back time and then get Christine back. But then it's later learned that Christine dying is an absolute point in time. He's being a little b****. He kept on trying to get more powerful so that he can reverse it. At the end, he successfully does it lah. You know, he everything up. I mean, towards the end, you know, he kept saying sorry, and like, you know, sorry doesn't really cut it. It was very selfish of him lah. Like kid. Like seriously, like so many fish in the sea. Like what the you did all this? Like, do you know, like when he was trying to absorb more power, you know, he was doing it for like pretty long. So let's move on. So in episode 5, we see a whole different universe. You know, all these people are. So basically, how it starts is that when Hank went into the quantum realm to bring his wife back, she contracted a virus, and then she him up. And then when he came back into the real world, they Scott up, and then they proceeded to like everyone up, you know. When Avengers came in, and then like it made everything worse lah, because like they got infected really easily. Actually, I found it very interesting to see like how all these zombies as heroes still remember how to use their powers. Like what really shocked me the most is that at the start of the series, when they came back from the quantum realm, the zombies actually know how to work the machines and as in like they still retain their tactical advantages. You know, like in Captain America, you know, he know how to fight. Tony Stark know how to use his own weapons. You know, and, oh yeah, and then about Scarlet Witch, is very like I was like, damn, this like throughout anything, okay, Wanda and Vision, right, it has probably got to be the most epic love story ever. You know, no matter where they go, right, they still like love each other until like knows. So yeah, if there's something that I've learned from these 5 episodes, right, the most it came from the last 3 episodes. If you guys notice, right, the last 3 episodes came out of love. Like Hank Pym killed everyone because of his daughter. Doctor Strange, you know, love Christine, and once again Hank Pym. So Hank Pym legit strike twice. So actually, right, if Hank Pym were to like go sideways in the MCU, we'd be pretty So yeah, that's it for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, if you do, make sure to hit the like button, because I'm doing a part 2 if there is at least 25 likes on this video. You know, subscribe if you haven't, and share with all your friends. I'll see you guys next time.